Hey everybody, it's time for the second real life superhero costume intro with a brand new costume with the same 2013 plus and before retro sweatsuit with zipper, without sweat jacket, with or without sweat jacket, t-shirt white t-shirt with sayings and imagery on them, and with or without blue trunks over the gray pants. Like I said, in these daytime intros, those trunks, I didn't feel like wearing them, so they won't be featured here. And this is the same as the Douglas Blair Roberts YouTube social media personality based intros and the old videos from those years. But the difference is, like I said, difference between this and those newer intros for that page, I'm wearing the regular size New Balance footwear with tape. This is my taped up high top Nike footwear from that time period. I have everything from that time period except for the actual two shirts, which, like I said, I'm not sure if I have those two shirts anymore. So with that being said, this is the same thing, only this time it will be the Sonic It Doesn't Matter and Jeff Hardy's theme. So with that being said, let me get started right now.
We're heroes, not zeros. One got what they fear, so here's the facts. So we got power to the max, you know what commands nails. When all else fails, call nerves of steel. This is the deal. You better watch out.
Hey everybody, it's now time for my part 2 real life superhero narration of what I consider one of the greatest superhero action cartoons of all time, the WildCats, the Image, now DC Comics, based on the Image and DC Comics of the same name. Yeah, the WildCats, like I said in part 1, first discovered it in 2013. I saw it on Newsramas. I think that was the website. I don't remember the website's name. It's worst superhero cartoons of all time. Even though it was a negative review, I liked what I was reading and I liked what I saw. So I decided to watch a couple of episodes. And already I was hooked, and even did a short narration review, just like with Ultra Force. While this cartoon's a little bit more memorable because it was way better. The storyline, the storyline was hard to follow. The ongoing storyline is an ongoing battle between the good guys, the Caravellos, and the main antagonists of the series, the Daemonites, led by the main antagonist Hellspawn. The team's manager Jacob Marlowe assembles the Wildcats to deal with the Daemonites. The Daemonites is this mutant alien race who can unleash tiny goblin-like creatures to get inside and infect people and turn regular people into Daemonites themselves. So yeah, Jacob Marlowe, he assembled the Wildcats team consisting of the leader, my number one favorite character, one of the most badass leaders and main characters and protagonists of Saturday morning cartoons and comic books, the Terminator and Cyclops inspired character Spartan, the Mandroid, the Mandroid. Then you got Grifter, the weapons specialist of the mercenary of the group, who's vastly similar to Wolverine and Deadpool. Then you got what was the other character? Oh yeah, then you got the character Warblade, who joins the team in episode 1. He's similar to Gambit with Wolverine's power. I think I forgot to mention him in part 1. Then you got 4, Zealot, a hybrid of Gambit, a female version of Gambit, Rogue, Jean Grey, and Wonder Woman, the warrior, the female warrior and sword weapon specialist of the group. Then you got an actual Jean Grey in Void, a Jean Grey and who's a hybrid of Jean Grey and Professor X, the telepath. Then you got 5, the Incredible Hulk and Thing inspired character Maul. Like Thing, in his enhanced form, he still maintains his intelligence and personality. However, the angrier he gets, the larger and stronger he gets, just like the Incredible Hulk. And then you got the last one, Voodoo, who is pretty much this series' Jubilee. So, yeah, that's the main characters. One of the coolest rosters of all time. The second coolest team. The Ultra Force team is better, but this cartoon is better. And once again, like I said in part 1, the heroes, with the exception of Hellspawn, the heroes are way better than the villains and kind of overshadow the villains. The villains aren't memorable with the exception of Hellspawn himself. That's because the heroes are way cooler, especially the main character. Hadrian. Hadrian Spartan. Hadrian's his real name. So, yeah, like I said, that character has the best fight scenes, the best power, the coolest design, an awesome voice actor, and the best backstory, and usually the show is at its best when the series is focused on him. Yeah. But the other characters get to develop and shine too in this short 13 plus series. 13 plus series. Far from being the worst cartoon, and just like a bunch of other cartoons, in just a short 13 episodes, they got a lot of story and development in such a short series. The series was ran on CBS's Action Cartoon Block, and it ended when CBS dealt away with their cartoons, and it was later picked up by USA Action Extreme, where it aired in reruns briefly in 1996. Just like with Ultra Force, another awesome, underrated 90s cartoon that I missed out on because I didn't have my own TV at the time. And when I was old enough and finally did have my own TV, shows like this were off the air. The only place you could find these were VHSs, and later, something I would discover later in the early 2000 video sharing sites and later streaming sites. But I hate that I missed this awesome show, this and Ultra Force. I only know about these awesome shows because of that website counting down the worst shows ever, and introduced me to an awesome franchise. Got to read the comic books, which so far are pretty cool and are much darker and surreal than this. Comic books aren't surreal; it's just surreal when you see how lighthearted and goofy this cartoon was, and you see how dark the comic books are in comparison. This show even made its way into the DC's brief 2010's New 52 series that started in 2011 and I think finished in 2018. Then you got what's after that? And then you had their awesome video game, their Super Nintendo action adventure beat 'em up style game. What's more cooler than watching and reading WildCats? Bringing all the action and excitement to your home Super Nintendo Entertainment console. So yeah. What else? Yeah, like I said in part 1, this show is an influence of the X-Men Marvel animated series, the Batman, Superman, DC animated series, and the last 2 seasons of the Super Friends cartoon, since the actual Justice League cartoon would not appear until the early 2000s. So the last 2 seasons of the Super Friends, the Superpowered Galactic Guardians television series. And with elements from the various other 90s and 80s action cartoons, and various elements from Japanese animation. I think Funimation even briefly had the rights to this. Another thing I loved about the show was that awesome hard rock theme you heard in the intro, which always gets me hyped on what you go. It's probably the best part of the show, as it's the most probably the best and most memorable part of the show. That theme song alone will get you hyped to watch the show. And in the website that gave this a negative review called the theme song obnoxious. It's one of the best and most creative themes ever. And it suits, instead of just playing a random instrumental theme, a random lazy instrumental theme, or some cheesy campy intro, which you could have a good cartoon, which you have a cheesy campy intro that'll turn people off. This is, I never mentioned this, but this was an issue in the Double Dragon cartoon, which, like I said, is the only flaw with this series, besides being different from its comic book in some various areas, which I don't see how they were going to be extremely close to the comic books in a short 13 episode series. Number two, don't see how, number two, eating the show way too soon, with just like Double Dragon, just like Street Fighter, just like Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm. Now, Street Fighter resolved everything, but they still had games released. Double Dragon had no more games released, but there were 3 things left unresolved in that series. And then you got Mortal Kombat Defenders of the Realm, which there was one thing that was never resolved yet, and you still had another game coming, and that was Mortal Kombat 4. So yeah, show ended way too soon. Should have lasted more than just 13 episodes. But one of the best superhero action cartoons ever, far from the worst. So yeah, this was WildCats, and like I said in part 1, this was these 2 reviews right here were the introduction to other reviews. To see the original narration versions, the links will be in the description box below. Yeah, as soon as I finish rewatching the series, oh no, I got before let me finish. Before I finish, when I finish, I gotta finish watching the series, and I'll do the larger webcam review overviews, then the post-episode review reactions, then the review game and comic book tie-ins reviews, then the what else? Then what else about the WildCats? And then and yeah, I enjoyed all the episodes, with the weakest being episode 11. Most of 11 is good, but it's a subplot involving Jacob Marlowe and some ruthless arrogant businessman. That, well, since the show ended after 13 episodes, there was a conflict at the end. There was a horrible ending and conflict at the end that, of course, would never be resolved. That would never be resolved because the show ended just 2 episodes later after this. Then episode 13, Hellspawn. They managed to defeat Hellspawn, with Hellspawn being absorbed, him getting himself absorbed by this orb, which wiped him out, and the death ended up being utterly unintentionally funny and hilarious. But at least this show actually resolved everything, for the most part, in this show, especially defeat the main antagonist in the series. Lots of animated series were left unresolved with the main antagonist getting away, never being brought to justice or permanently killed. Here, that happened here, just like in the Street Fighter, the animated series. So yeah, this was my real life superhero review of WildCats. WildCats. Once again, the original 2 will be in the description box below, and I told you all the other reviews are coming in the future. You want to hear the rest of the music? Turn the video off right now.